So we can call whatever. Sometimes I call myself a bitch, a slut. I'm fat. I don't look like everybody else. I don't sound like everybody else. But it's all a process, isn't it? As we wipe the pain from our faces, from our hearts, our souls, it's important to talk about it. The demons, skeletons. Do people really understand how it feels? All I can do is write about it, sing about it, be as ridiculous as I can be.
In mistrust and paranoia in my mind.
She was dedicated and had a lot to say and wanted it to be heard.
A real sadness to the music and a sadness to her voice.
Bird with a clipped wing, that's how I felt.
Izzy had a style like nobody else's. She was the queen of Bohemia.
Beautiful soul, a beautiful life, and some very scary fucking songs.
She has red hair from all the crime she's caused. She's gonna cut you up, boy. She's gonna send you abroad.
I'm a strong woman. I'm a survivor. I'm a warrior. I'm a banshee. I'm a troublemaker. I'm an inventor, visionary, medicine woman. I'm empath. I'm many things, but most of all, I'm myself.
She aimed for freedom, as we all do, but there was her past that had left her a little bit damaged, and she spent her time and energy finding her way out of that and moving forward.
Izzy was crazy from the first time I met her. She was just like way too strong of an energy, like really intense.
I play drums, guitar, and sing at the same time.
You knew something was happening around her. It was like she was snapping, crackling, and popping at all times.
I found I was furious that I found out that she had a practice that she even spoke about where she, yes, admits to locking the gate and makes you have to work to get into it instead of her coming out to work together.
As soon as she opened her mouth, I was like, holy shit, how do you follow that?
She didn't believe that she needed to live her life that way, knowing, so she kept going strong.
I loved Izzy's raw honesty. I loved the way that she didn't seem to feel ashamed about anything that might have gone wrong in her life. She just saw that as a reason to make music.
She just started telling me all about it. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm partly brain damaged because my dad hit me in the head with a claw hammer. And you're like, what? This can't be real. You're making this up, but it's amazing.
Nobody personifies the DIY spirit as much as Izzy. She was slapping life on the ass. She was slapping across the face if it said the wrong word and then grabbing it back after it slapped it and said, really? Is that all there is?
I think what's so amazing is that she never seemed to hide herself or even hide the issues.
We made $3 tonight, and the whole place was like packed, and not one CD sale. That's happened sometimes. When you play 2 shows in one day, you just make $3.
Is that discouraging at all as a musician?
Well, it's the way it goes sometimes.
She had her dukes up, ready to go, and making it very clear, you will not make me a victim.
I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My father was a Vietnam vet from the U.S., And my mom is Armenian, first generation French Canadian.
She grew up in Montreal, and my dad, he was very abusive. And I have some memories of actually seeing him break her nose and the police coming. He was very abusive to my mom as well, but he was physically abusive to Isabel, so he would routinely beat her. And she told me he actually he locked her in the basement for a few days and he threatened to kill her.
I was only allowed to listen to religious music, and I played music in the Salvation Army band as a child. And then around 11 years old, I found punk rock, and it gave me freedom. It changed my life.
She ran away from home at the age of 12 because it was so difficult for her to live there and be in constant fear of her father.
I was 12 and I started doing every drug possible. And I did acid for about a year and a half.
She wasn't at all concerned about how she was judged by people. I think she just wanted to express herself through her music, and she did it in a unique way that incorporated a crossover of different styles.
I mean, when she discovered punk music, the kettle under pressure suddenly had an air vent, and she could really vent that energy.
They told me that I'd never be able to talk and walk, and because I had such severe damage to my head. And I was just like, fuck off. Like, I'm gonna fight through this.
She had long ago learned that when you discover the worst thing, whether it's something that really disgusts you or is painful or terrible about humanity, the hardest truth, you don't just let it sit there and weigh on you and push you into the ground. That you say, well, and you sort of stand back up and say, here's what I'm gonna do.
I don't give a damn if you think I'm mentally disabled and I can't take care of myself. And I just fought. And I went to theater school, I went to dance school, I studied film, I did everything possible to enrich my life.
Let's face it, with the awful, awful existence that women have to put up with on this planet, with men and just the day-to-day, this being tired of the oppressiveness that, comes with someone who thinks they should be male dominant or dominant in general. They know what it's like to be under and say, get off, I'm going to fight my way out, I'm not going to let you do this. And if I got to do it with words, I got to do it with words. If I have to do it with knives, I'm going to do it with knives. But I'm going to fight.
I write about fighting and drinking and killing your husband.
You like whiskey?
I used to drink, but I can't handle it.
Part of what allows abuse to happen is politeness, right? Nobody wants to confront it, or nobody wants to say, wait, something's really wrong here. And so I think she developed that as a survival technique over many years, and she's really good at it.
Those were times in my life that I never thought I'd be able to live through them. I never thought that the shame and guilt of being taken advantage of and beaten would ever end.
She was a force in this world that, as we know from her history as a child, she made decisions to survive and move forward and become an artist and live her life as she wanted to live it. And she did that in spite of a lot of hardships.
On a path and a journey, and I was playing music all the time in Montreal and doing spoken word, but I was mad as hell. And then I moved to the US and I lived in LA and I was a cigarette and chocolate girl and I was playing music, and I never wanted to be a rock star or anything, and I just started playing, and I refused to take medication, so I was mad as a Mad Hatter. And then at 36, I had a breakdown.
I met Izzy Cox in 2003, 2004 in Hollywood, California at the Musicians Credit Union at a group for recovering alcoholics and addicts. When I met Izzy, she was newly sober, and she was trying to come to terms with remaining a functioning, performing musician without the crutch of alcohol. She was in aftercare. I was still in rehab. We were still battling the same disease, which is alcoholism, and it was a very emotional time.
I had post-traumatic stress every day. I would have nightmares. I would end up in crazy relationships with crazy guys.
Also was a great fit for Izzy. She was able to play music nonstop, and she was able to record and keep posting her stuff online to build a wider fan base all across the country.
Red River was essentially where I had gotten to know her, see her around all the time, go to each show, and then become part of what felt like a family of folks who got that music, and you were supporting something. So not only was it cool to know her as a friend kind of first and foremost, and then find out what, Izzy Cox is and be involved with that.
Miss Izzy Cox's musical career has been quite interesting. I don't know how much you want to cover, but it went, like this, and then she moved to Texas.
No. Well, it started off in Montreal, and then it went all the way up, and then I went all the way.
And it was a good time was had by all and out celebrating.
Ow! What the fuck?
Any of you like free music? Yeah, I go through different original Austin music and authentic original Austin.
In 2010, all her hard work was starting to pay off when she got what she felt was her big breakout moment. She was asked to open up for Hank 3 on his nationwide tour.
So April of 2010, we were in Birmingham, Alabama, and we got a call from Donnie, who was the tour manager and producer for Hank 3. He said that he wanted Izzy and me to go on tour with him. Just the Izzy Cox show, and I was, at the time I was the show. But it also seemed like the kind of chance that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of somebody's life, because this was such a crazy thing.
Izzy came to meet us on tour. She was going to be opening up for Hank 3, and we met in Tacoma, and she barreled through with her trumpet player and her helper, Megan, who was performing but also helping with the driving duties and merch.
Hank 3 is the son of Hank Williams Jr. and grandson of Hank Williams Sr. As far as outlaw underground country hellbilly music goes, this is the guy.
How did he find you?
He found us because I'm not exactly sure, except for the fact that Izzy kind of stalked Sheldon for like 10 years before this and sent him letters like monthly, like personal letters, and like sent him presents on his birthday and things. But it wasn't like a stalker kind of situation where it was like, I'm gonna call the cops. It was more like he would reply and be like, oh, thanks, good to hear from you. You know, it slowly developed into sort of a rapport. So we'd heard about her.
The roses are faded, there's frost at my door. Birds in the morning don't sing anymore. Grass in the valley is starting to die, and out in the darkness the whippoorwills cry. Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord, if you hear me, please hold my hand. Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord, if you hear me, oh, please understand.
And then when he realized, like, hey, I could pick her up for, you know, and bring her along on this, and that would be kind of interesting and a different thing to showcase, because when he does the tour, it's, you know, Hank 3, and then it's Ass Jack a lot of the times. And so he has Hank 3, which is old country, and then he does Ass Jack, which is like hardcore speed metal. Such a shift that I think he wanted something that was also a shift, so he brought in like the female Voodoo Billy Queen. She came and stayed at my house, and we made merch. So she made these like clothespins where we glued some feathers on them, and they were supposed to be like hair clips. My mom kind of hoards those hotel shampoos. We had like Rubbermaid tubs full of like shampoo and conditioners from hotels from wherever, from over the years. So we took them in the backyard and spray painted them silver and like made little voodoo hex kits that were like body cleansing to cleanse off bad voodoo and stuff.
It was going to be huge for her. It was going to expose her to a whole wide range of folks and the following he had already built, and make her a household name in that subculture.
And so we piled in her kick drum, her guitar, her amp, my suitcase, her suitcase, my accordion, my trumpet, all the merch, and then everything else, all the other bullshit, and piled it in the back, and off we went. She's freaking out at this point because here's the culmination of like her life of dreams. And so we'd have to pull over every now and then so she could stand on her head and cry.
From the very first night, it was trouble. It was trouble.
We got there and the shows were great. We played the first show in Tacoma, Washington at Hell's Kitchen, and it was great. We nailed it. There was no mess ups, no nothings, but she lost her car keys at the end of the show.
She got hammered. She got really, really drunk. Left the merch booth, took all the money, gave it to a stranger, and walked off and got another drink. And our tour manager, for the sake of the entire tour, even though he wasn't managing her, he still had to help out to, you know, keep the whole package going to the next city.
Donnie's freaking out. Everybody's looking for her car keys. Like, she has everybody freaking out, looking for the car keys.
She was raising Cain about it, but we finally just, okay, sometimes first night, that's how it happens. It goes down, move on. Show must go on.
An hour later, after we were waiting on Papa-Lock to show up, it turns out the car keys were in her boob. And she was like, don't tell anybody about this.
It was basically only 4 nights, I think, and some long drives, too. And we were lucky. We were in a bus, but she was just in a PT Cruiser. You know, just her and one person in this car. No luxuries or amenities. So they had to make these long drives. And then this is through the Northwest, you know, through Tacoma, and lots of hills and mountains, and it was cold. But she made it, and there was a little talking to about the previous night's behavior, and she was good. She was good for one of the 4 nights. I remember that.
So we played at Bend, Oregon the next night, and Bend, Oregon was fine. It was great. We played a good show. There was no problems. And so then we go on to Boise, Idaho, and Boise is where we got the boot.
And then it fell apart again. I think she was on her knees crawling around and looking for her drink. And she was drinking whiskey. She was just drinking whiskey on the rocks. And she got into it with the promoter. And all of a sudden there was signs of like unhappiness towards the organizers, whoever they were.
Little bit of smoke and a whole lot of wine.
The first thing was a claim, the public claim. She wrote a letter saying that a fan had followed her to all of these shows, which were each in different states. Okay, would have been just a really too far of a drive, and dosed her drink with some kind of psychedelic drug all of the nights, and it wasn't her.
She smoked something that she thought was weed in the green room behind the stage during the Hank 3, while Hank 3 was getting started. And apparently it might have been a geek or something, because it was laced with something insane. It was not just weed. It was not just weed. And she was also very drunk on top of not just weed. So she comes out and starts like slam dancing during the country song and then the country part of the Hank 3 show, and is like screaming stuff like, "I'm the queen of Voodoo Billy! Fuck you! I'm the queen!"
I've sometimes wondered whether that was really the case, or days and days of drinking, not sleeping, performing, not eating right had just caught up with her and she finally snapped.
I heard you were biting ankles.
I was. I didn't know the truth.
That was a rumor on the internet. Just kidding.
I know, that's what had happened, is I got in so fucked up. I was biting bartenders' ankles and barking at them.
Yeah. That's why I told her.
And Donnie comes up and was like, "Get your shit and get out now." And like started throwing our stuff back into our little cases and stuff, and gave us the bum's rush out the back door.
If you fast forward a little bit, she did eventually, that did prompt her to get it together and not drink for a very long time. And even when she did, she never drank like that again. And she did kind of come clean, as to her own undoing.
At that time, she didn't know that she was mentally ill as well. So she wasn't medicated. She was drinking heavily. She apparently tried to drink herself to death and almost did it. I mean, she was drinking to a point of alcohol poisoning daily, until finally, she ended up in the hospital and said, "You're gonna die. You need to stop now." And so, being Izzy, of course, she just did. She just stopped drinking.
Right, let's jump to Austin and tell me, when did you meet her for the second time?
I met her in, let's say, 2010 at Austin Recovery. Just, I was at a detox center. I was there for, my issues, and coming to detox, you're pretty beaten down, just like, the first time we met. And this was no different. I know I was beaten down, but it was good when I got there to see, Izzy smiling at me when I got there. That was cool, and she was happy to see me, and we caught up on old times. And she had just gotten kicked off the Hank 3 tour.
It was that moment that she came to the realization that if she was going to have a music career and people were going to take her seriously, she was going to have to change her way of coping and getting by with all the unresolved issues of her childhood and years of bad relationships.
As an independent record label owner and essentially a one-woman band, I did not have enough resources to continue opening up for Hank 3 and Ass Jack. I could not afford to have help, a driver, a team. I have no buffer or friends that could protect me in any capacity. and in turn was open to weird things. I believe in my heart someone slipped me some psychotics. Twice. But since I am all alone, well, no one believes me, or would have believed me. That's it. That's all. Sorry. This indeed is the saddest thing in my life, and also I am barred and banned from any Hank 3 Ask Jack shows indefinitely.
That happens to all of us, where you do something and you fuck up, and then all of a sudden you have to live with that for a little while. You know what I mean? Or your reputation precedes you, or it can be bad for your reputation or bad for your self-worth. There's so many wins and losses in being a performing musician. The last show you played follows you.
One day at a time. I've been pretty fucking lucky. Yesterday I wanted a shot for a second, and then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That would ruin the tour. That would ruin everything that's going on. It would really fuck things up. I have a job to do. My job is to fucking entertain people and bring them somewhere where they need to go emotionally. You know, I'm not like other people. I can't just take one drink and woo-hoo, have a good time. No, once I drink, I can't stop. I drink until oblivion.
So doctors had told her she needed to have immediate surgery on a cyst on her ovary. And she had a tour coming up and wasn't going to have enough time to recover before going on tour. So she said, no, we'll do the surgery when I get back from tour. The doctor said no, and she said no. And then they said, okay, if you're going to go, you have to take someone with you. Do not go on this tour alone. And that's when she approached me and said, hey, you want to hit the road with me for 5 weeks? And I said yes.
This is my start of the tour. I always take the first show in Austin as my preliminary how the tour is going to go. Bluebell, like ice cream.
That is what we're going to be traveling the country in?
I'm gonna love you if you beat me black and blue. I'm gonna love you, there's nothing you can do. I'm gonna love you through rain or through shine. Till you know the end of time.
We're gonna miss you so much, sweetie. No. Don't worry. I know we're gonna do without you. When you get back, I'm doing a show and you're doing all my costumes and makeup.
I hope you're here for Izzy Cox. This is her last night in Austin to play before she's heading out on tour in like 24, 36 hours. She's amazing. She deserves everything and plus more that she has now.
I forgot the address to put the GPS in. The GPS's name is Mildred.
I'm a bad woman. 'Cause
I'm already tired. We're going to Odessa, Texas. We're gonna go see your folks and just crash out and try to get ahead of the, brutal 16-hour drive the next day. Well, right now we're in Odessa, Texas, and we have an 11-hour drive ahead of us, and we're going to be in Tempe, Arizona by tonight.
So I realized since I'm going to be on the road with her for 5 weeks anyway, I may as well bring a camera and document all this. I thought it'd be fun. It'd be a great way to help get her music out there. And she was all about it. She was really excited about the idea and wanted to be able to tell her stories and people see what it's like out there. And she really took to it.
Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Izzy.
How you doing?
Pretty damn good.
How's the drive so far?
Bluebell is treating me fantastic, and Maribel, what's her name?
Mildred.
Mildred, our GPS is keeping me company when Izzy's napping. We're developing quite the relationship. But we're still in Texas, no surprise. And we got about
So the first state we hit was Arizona. We did about 4 or 5 shows there. We got to hang out with the Hash Knife crew, the Hash Knife outfit, and all their friends. While we were out in Arizona, we ran into one of her oldest musical buddies that she used to tour with, and she learned a lot from about being on the road.
She can play anything, she can sing anything, and she writes beautiful lyrics, you know? She's great at improvising, you know? So there's no one like her, period. She says Izzy Cox. There's no one like her. She's really good. Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a voice like no other.
I went down to that St. James Infirmary so I could see my baby. Some stretched out long.
Back in like 1972, I was on tour with Gordon Lightfoot. And the backup singer was Izzy's mom, and she had told me this joke. This is a long time ago. Gordon Lightfoot, he writes some good songs. I like Rush too, and Neil Young, Canadian. I like Tim Horton, great hockey player.
Woo! Go Canada!
Oh, you get in the booth there. You know, it could be, but the Quebec, you know, the Quebec, they're trying to fucking what do they call that? Like Texas, they're trying to get out of it, or Alaska. But seceding, you know, from the fucking union. But Izzy's mom taught me this joke. She said, "How do you break up with a musician, Soda?" And I said, "Well, I don't know." Oh no, wait, I gotta back it up.
They took us out shooting one day, and we played multiple shows, and it was a real blast. It was a real nice way to see the friendliness that we were going to get on the road from people, and just how much people on the road really loved Izzy.
Wow.
Not bad.
That was crazy.
Want to load up a magazine?
Wow. That was intense.
Then we went to Los Angeles, where we did 5 shows in 3 days. And once we got to LA, her friend Billy Pittman, who she used to play with back when she lived there before, was jumping on and playing 5 shows with us.
Welcome to downtown Los Angeles, goddammit. This is where Lightning Woodcock lives, and it's a pleasure to be here with Izzy Cox. You know, Lightning ain't seen Izzy Cox since, I want to say, 2007, maybe 2008 was the last time. Tonight, goddammit, we're doing it again, and I'm really happy to see Izzy and to hear Izzy and to see how well come along as a singer, and what Austin has done to her.
She was living in LA, riding a bicycle, didn't know anybody. But, you know, like the way I met her, she was willing to go to some party where she didn't really know people and asked to borrow somebody's guitar because, you know, there was some people playing, you know, sitting up there strumming some stuff. And she got up and played a couple of songs and really blew everybody away at the party, for sure.
Dad's knocking at my door. Can you tell him I don't live here anymore? No matter what he'll try to say, he'll be persuasive in every single way. Hey, Dad's knocking at my door.
After Los Angeles, we hit Northern California, then Oregon, all the way up to Seattle, where we picked up her online boyfriend for the rest of the tour.
We're heading to Tacoma to see my better half.
You excited?
That I've never even met. Well, he's met me, but I don't remember meeting him. I'm nervous as hell. I'm trying to focus as much as I can on the road so we can get there as ASAP. I'm very, very, very excited.
Lay a hand to the ears. Remember your dust is it's like a kiss in the sun.
then I'll be filming that then.
Oh, you're filming it? I need to get fucked
Well,
up.
I didn't know what was going on when I walked in.
Yes, I am partaking in a substance called marijuana.
You can leave that open.
And I partake instead of taking opiates.
The thing is you gotta...
We still had fun. It was still a great time, but they were just at each other's throats constantly. And then the two of them fought. You know, it's real easy to get along online when someone writes you a message and you have time to think about it and write it back. When you're actually face to face in a stressful situation, it doesn't always work out as planned.
Do you know?
Throw fellow CDs, baby, push that merch.
Law number 5.
I'm not pushing that
Never,
merch for you
ever.
right now.
Yeah, we also get a 350 guarantee.
Yeah,
so
but they really love you.
We don't have to be push it too hard.
It's 3.
I thought it was 350.
Yeah.
So we're not playing a third set?
I've got 3 in my pocket.
Okay.
But I double checked the email. I thought it said 3.
You did? Okay.
You know, honestly,
if it's 350, I can get it to you.
300 for a hotel room and food.
Stop.
Josh.
For them to be trying to build a relationship while we're on the road is not an ideal scenario. There wasn't enough money now for 3 people, and it created a lot of tension, and things really changed drastically as far as filming went on the rest of that trip once he became a member of the team.
Out there while it's being recorded. No, I don't really want to shit talk.
Well, you shouldn't have dragged me into shit that had nothing to do with me. And I shouldn't have allowed myself to fucking get dragged into it. Now that I hear the whole story, it fucking sucks.
What's the whole story?
I'm not telling you all today.
Yeah.
When I die, I want 6 gamblers. I want to roll up 20 Turkish girls. I want to find a way to wherever I'll be going. My time, it always seems to run out in my mind. So I went down to St. James Infirmary so I could see my baby there. I saw him stretched out on a long white table. He looked so pale, so frail, and so alone.
There's a lot to keep track of.
And the Rayman Rumble Mambo. I'm Van Ramsey. This is Pull the String. You are tuned to 90.7 FM KSER Everett. We are listener-supported public radio. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support, and thank you to Miss Izzy Cox, who is my guest in the studio today. Izzy, how are you?
I'm very good.
Well, good. I caught your show last night at Slim's, and it was awesome. I've been a fan of yours online. We've swapped some emails and stuff, and I wanted to hear you live, and it was just you were never in the right place, and you were just awesome last night. It was.
I loved your band too.
Well, thank you. We were proud to be a part of that, and proud and happy to be, and thank you very much. Let's get right into a song, shall we?
Okay, will do. This song I'm going to play for you is called I'm Gonna Love You. I'm gonna love you if you beat me black and blue.
So we get back to Austin and go straight to Headhunters, which was her home away from home, to play a show and be welcomed back from our journey and adventure by all our buddies and friends. And it was a really great night.
Tonight we are at Headhunters.
Woo! What do they do here? Hot heads?
They certainly do. I saw your girl last night and took it for a ride. Set your girlfriend's house on fire, now doing time in the lonely. I saw your girl last night and took it for a ride. Set your girlfriend's house on fire, now doing time in
to be back home?
It's nice.
Amongst friends.
It's awesome.
Yeah? The only thing I got was a thumbs up from you. So.
There was 3 fights tonight at the bar.
Yeah.
There was all sorts of crazy drama, but it's great to be home in my dysfunctional family.
So we always knew her boyfriend was going to be coming back to Austin with her. What I didn't really realize was that her other living situation was no longer there, and she and him were now moving into my 1-bedroom apartment with me.
The adrenaline goes to a really high level, and then once you get back home, the adrenaline starts going down. And what happens to me is as I start to crash, it gets really real, really quick, and I kind of lose it. Because my original plan was to come back to Austin, stay at Andrews, work on guitar pedals, and I fell in love madly, but I'm not well. I OD'd 11 times. I was raped 150 times from 11 till I was 25. Actually, I didn't even know you could say no. So I'm pretty messed up with men when it comes to relationships.
It's just part of the game. I think that mental illness pretty much runs in this fucking scene. And until people recognize it and get help for it, it's going to be a fucking drama-filled scene with a lot of dysfunction. And I think that's where all the genius comes from, the wonderful music that we hear. It's just fucking self-cock that we got to put ourselves through it to get that enjoyment out of it. It is one artistic fucking game out there. And if you're a fan and you fall in love with a fucking performer, be prepared. Because it's not going to be what you fucking think it is.
He stuck around a few more days, and then their time was definitely coming to an end. She was ready for him to go. He needed to get back anyway.
In Austin, Texas, at Gabriel Lopez's house. And we are on the way to the airport to drive Scott to go back to Tacoma.
Time for me to give up this little adventure.
Oh no, how did it treat you?
I think they're paying me to leave Austin. Something about this game lately. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it treated me fucking amazing. I learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about the road. Had some new adventures. Had some deja vu from being on the road before. And all in all, good fucking times. Met some good people. I think I made some good friends. So, I don't regret it in the least. But my stomach regrets not missing. So, be right back.
Should've put a gun to my head, but instead we're in bed and you're making another death threat. Bottles on the floor, like I know you need it more.
You have been nailing this stuff for years and years and years in Austin. You were everywhere else before. And I guess today versus the history of Izzy Cox, anything change, good, bad, indifferent, still playing the same game? How do you feel about looking back and, what's going on today?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and whether something breaks or not, it doesn't matter. I'll still be doing it.
He definitely was part of a community that was much more powerful than life itself. And that just goes to show what a great soul Izzy is, was, and shall always be.
I had moved back to West Texas, and she would come out there and play every so often, and I would still come here and play every so often, and we were starting to talk about touring again. And then she called me and said, hey, I'm going into the hospital, and I've been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. Will you come visit?
We'd played a show at the Music Ranch and started picking up some house gigs with Beerland and with Carousel Lounge. And during that time, she was experiencing a lot of pain and didn't quite know what it was. And eventually, she got up the nerve to go have it checked out. She was really scared about the pain she was experiencing. And they said, look, you've got cancer.
You know, it was a shock because we were just played 2 days earlier. And then we thought maybe it was something simple. And then it went from maybe something kind of simple to being something very serious. And that the first week, especially because all the news started to come in and the test results were coming back in.
That's when she had to tell me that the doctors were giving her 6 to 8 months to live. And we had to start preparing for that.
She was on the 7th floor on the oncology wing. She was just starting to find out that it would be too hard to operate on the cancer.
You want to go out?
Actually,
I'm recording, yes. Tell me.
Okay.
It was a lot of information taken really fast, and it was really heavy. She handles it like a champ, though, I'll tell you.
In fact, people would comment how they would have to tell her to slow down because she would work so hard and never give herself a rest, never break, give herself enough of a break to catch up on her energy.
I heard about her through my palliative care team. Basically, when you get referred to palliative care, it just means it's a time that you have to start making some decisions. You have to start really thinking about quality of life versus length of life.
Well, she just got out of the hospital a few days ago, and this just to show you what Izzy's determination. It's been 3 days, and she already has a band practice set up. She wants to just jump right back into her music and play. And so, yeah, this is going to be the first band practice in a couple months. So bust off the rust and see where we're at, and hopefully polish it up a little bit and just get back, and even just to get together as a band and just to play.
Traveling state to state. Woo-hoo!
We have a show tomorrow, and it's actually a benefit that was set up for Izzy, and they weren't sure if she was going to be able to play or not, and surprisingly enough, she's probably going to be able to play it. May not be the longest set, but she's going to get after it and do it.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. You know it's your home. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. The devil sells your soul. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. You're never really alone. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. The devil knows you're wrong. The devil steals your soul. The devil.
Seeing Izzy play towards the end made me reconsider that. That was a weird reality check where I was just like, I always thought that if I was dying, the last night I was alive, I'd be like playing a fucking show, right? But watching her play when she was real frail was kind of fucked up. It kind of made me question it. It was like, it wasn't sad because it was still good. It was still better than most. But for the people who knew her and who came out to all the shows, it was just, you're just seeing the physical decline of a friend.
This time I came in the hospital because I didn't follow my doctor's orders in the food diet. And I nearly died because of it. All my organs stopped working. And I won't make that mistake again, even though everything smells and seems yummy. This is the kind of food I have to eat now. It's pureed food. I probably am just going to eat the mashed potatoes that are right there. Because that stuff seems nasty.
She's very strong. Very, very strong. And sweet, too. She's got some of the kindest heart of anyone I've known. She's always caring about people. Even when people come to the hospital, she just wants to be like, hey, do you want some water? You know, take a seat. I need to get the extra chair in here for you.
Now, since I've been in the hospital, I started a book of my life as drawings and lyrics. I didn't want to be personal with my life because I'm not very good at expressing it. I'm better expressing my songs on paper. Family, they're scared of me. Like, Oh Jesus, like that song, that was written because of them. Because they were so callous, you know. They saw me, they were like, do you believe in Jesus Christ? I said, I believe in God. You know, I believe in what makes other people happy. I was like, do you believe in Jesus Christ, as your Lord Savior? And I believe, you know, I was like, yeah, sure. And, you know, whatever that energy is, it must be a good energy because a lot of people believe in it, you know. But I personally can't believe in it because I believe that women should have a vital role in the church. And that's just me, you know. If there's no women being represented, I don't really trust it. Because women should be the main focus.
We'd get to see her, but you know, of course, I know all the time when she's in there, only thing she could talk about is being able to play again and wanting to play shows and try to record and just looking forward to that. That's like her beacon, to go off and see, hey, I want to play again. You know, I'm not giving up
I want to play, I want to record these songs. I still want to do this. You know, even though I know she's really tired sometimes and the treatments are hard on her, but she still brings it and digs deep.
I'm just saying the first verse and the first chorus, just lay back because I don't have the rhythm
Lay
down.
back or don't play?
Don't play and then come in and play.
Usually, that's not what we're going to do live.
That's what we're going to do live.
I'm just going to sit there.
Just the first, just try it. Just try it because I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Well, then I don't know what I'm doing.
That's why I'm saying hold off. Just hold off.
I'm going to sit up there and look like a goof.
This is practice. This is not going to be live. I'm just trying to figure out the song. I love you, my dear, but I never really let you know. I love you, my dear, but I never really let it show.
I like things to be kind of mapped out and know what to expect, and I even play my drum parts like they're riffs. I'll pretty much do the same thing every time with very little improv.
So how was the experience of someone like you playing with Izzy?
Izzy was completely different in that you just never really knew what to expect because she would play it one way one time, she would play it another way another time. I mean, huge differences. Like one would be, you'd play it swing and all of a sudden she'd be doing it more like punk rock. Or, she would change the verses around or, But it was always interesting. And you could kind of, depending on her mood and stuff, you could kind of anticipate where she was going to go.
We played shows where no one used a single note. I never heard the songs before either. I just put them on stage. Terrible of me. I don't know what to say. I say it all in my music, I think. If I'm having a good day, the music goes good. If I'm having a bad day, the music goes bad. Well, not bad, but more aggressive. And if I'm having a horrible day, I'm so focused. But I'm having a good day today. I'm just glad to be outside and glad to be around friends that love me and trust me and play my music.
the incredible Izzy Cox. Give her a round of applause for jumping up here. You know what she's battling? She's battling. You know what she's battling? She's up here, bringing it for you guys. Thank you so much for supporting her. Thank you. We love you, Izzy. We love you so much. Give her a round of applause for bringing it up here right now, really. She dug deep for this. And thanks to Dave. Thank you, Dave.
There was a lot of optimism, especially on her part. She was so optimistic in those days. She was in a lot of pain. She wasn't always in a very good mood. And, you know, she would go to the show and it looked like she shouldn't even be there. She shouldn't even be standing. And the second she got on stage and started playing, she just came to life.
She wanted to continue playing, and I understand. She would have died on the stage if she had her way. And it was after that show that I decided that I was not going to do any more of those, because I mean, it was kind of a controversial decision. Some people kind of blasted me for it a little bit, but Pete agreed with me that we didn't really want to see her go out like that. You know, it was a little bit sad because she'd once been so powerful, you know, and she was just she was medicated, she was frail.
Don't quit. No matter what, don't ever quit. If it's in your bones, you can't quit. It's like the world just throws shit at you and you just gotta not take it personally. You know, life is life. And who knows, you know, if I didn't have cancer, maybe I'd have something else. You know, and it's tough. All the medications and everything I gotta do. It's a full-time job, taking care of myself.
Institutionalize, memorize the questions to the answers that they analyze. Doctor says that I'm not well. Guess I'm living under a spell. Well, the red pills make me wanna die, and the yellow ones make me wanna cry. I don't know how long it's been. Guess I committed a sin.
Alright, you guys can stop. So, are you rolling?
Yes, I'm rolling.
You're at speed. Alright, everybody, we're rolling whenever you're ready.
I've seen her at her darkest, you know. I've seen her shine bright. I've seen everything in between right here. And, you know, being fortunate enough to work with her on her last record with Curtis here, you know, following Curtis Lee, it's just been wonderful. It's great. She's open to ideas, and then sometimes she knows exactly what she wants, you know, so you just got to kind of bend and flow with it and put it together, and it's always a good outcome, as everyone knows.
music is what you really care about.
Yeah, and touching people. I mean, not touching people.
Touching their hearts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Consensual.
Sometimes.
Heart touching through music.
Therapy.
Okay, do you want to add anything in this line?
No. I feel like I was supposed to say something poignant. I'm a better musician from having met Izzy. And more importantly, I'm a better human being from having met Izzy. So, she means a lot to me.
That's sweet.
That's the truth.
Can you say what it is about her that makes you a better human being?
Her passion for life, to be passionate, I've been accused of in the past already, even before I knew her, but just seeing, like when we were on the road together and she was so sick and she was still playing every single night, it's like, okay, you gotta overcome it, no matter how you're feeling, you get to the show, you play the show, you don't cancel the show, you do it, you make it. And just her kindness. She's shown me a lot of kindness over the years. And just, really made me feel accepted and loved, especially at certain times when I didn't necessarily feel a lot of it. So, yeah, she's the best.
What gifts are you? You're my right-hand man.
Left-handed cigarette woman.
When we went on tour, I had cysts in the same area that I'm dealing with right now. And I was supposed to go for surgery. And I waited. Well, they said 1 year. And I was in a lot of pain. Not as bad as now. Now it is but it's so weird how all this happens when I'm ill,
What do you mean?
like people documenting me, and when I'm in between places, and but I love you all, and I love the fact I have this opportunity to be around kind and loving people. And that's what it's about.
The bridges are burning fire, screeching of another time. The devil is calling, the devil is calling, the devil is calling you. The devil is calling you. The devil is calling you.
So, we are in Looters, Texas, and we are at the funeral ground of all my ancestors, of my grandmother and my great-grandmother. It's burial ground, and my Uncle John Wayne is being buried here today. Dad, do you want to be in the film?
Doesn't matter to me.
Let's videotape. Well, I'm here. This is my dad, Jack Cox, Jackie Lewis Cox, and we're here. My uncle passed today. I think we already got that on video. But we're here. This is my grandmother and my grandfather.
And it's your great-grandmother and great-grandfather. I got my plot is here in plot 6. So if Izzy wants plot 5, she can have it.
Well, I know where I'm going to be buried.